Okay, I've been wanting to do one of these for a while. This is Helldivers 2 Warbond tier list as of February 2025. So the latest one is Servants of Freedom. Let's get straight into it. So I put the OG in S tier because to me it goes without saying. This is more OG content. So you get 10 levels of stuff to unlock, including some of the best weapons in the game. Yeah, pretty much essential. If you're brand new to the game, work through this first before purchasing any of the premium ones. But this tier list is mostly about the premiums, so I'm going to go straight into the first one released. I'm going to go in released order. Actually, I'll break it down. The way I'm going to score it is S tier is 100% essential. A tier is going to be a lot of fun, maybe some great theming that really adds to the game, but not 100% essential. B, middle of the road. C, maybe there's one or two items in there that you'll rotate, but other than that, fairly disappointing. And D is going to be rubbish. Only if you've got. I'd only care about if you've got nothing else to unlock. So we're going to go straight into the first premium Warbond of the game, released almost a year ago. Steeled Veterans. Highlights for this one for me are the Senator and the Breaker Incendiary. The Senator is fantastic. It's basically heavy armor penetrating. It's 6 shots only, so it takes a lot of skill to use. But other than that, fantastic. And the Breaker Incendiary can set enemies on fire. It can, even though it's only light armor penetrating, it can find its way into those nooks and crannies of the armored enemies. And at one point it was so good it broke the game. But everything else is still fairly decent. The Concussor has its uses. It can push back enemies. The Incendiary is good for crowd control. Impacts a little bit in my opinion. And the Dominator Explosive Shotgun, very good. So what do you think there? I think that's straight in a very strong start. Right, next up, Cutting Edge. Highlights for this: the Sickle. Interesting passive, which is finally useful against the Illuminate because they use some electric weapons. Blitz is okay. It's an electric shotgun. Cool armor. What do you think? So the Sickle is probably the highlight of this one. One of the best weapons in the game. But other than that, yeah, I'm gonna put it as a B, I think. So the Sickle, the way it works is that if you don't let it overheat, it's unlimited ammo, but it is fairly low damage. But yeah, lots of people like it, so I think that's a fair B, in my opinion. Next up, Democratic Destination. This is gonna be an S, easy S. So we've got a Thermite Grenade, which is I regularly take it. It takes out tanks, hulks, chargers, you name it. The Adjudicator is my favorite assault rifle in the game, probably the best one maybe. It's medium armor pen, decent capacity, high damage, great for bots, great for bugs, good for the Illuminate as well. You get the extra grenade carries. You get the Eruptor, which is great. It's great for crowd control. Has low ergo, but it's still pretty good. Can take out spawners. Crossbow, one of the best weapons in the game. Grenade pistol, probably the best pistol in the game. Yeah, this is S tier. Probably the best Warbond in the game. If you're just starting out, this might be my recommendation as the first one to pick up. Which is followed by my favorite Warbond in the game. I wouldn't say it's the best one, but it's my favorite. Reasons being, it comes with the Starship Trooper looking rifle, which isn't medium pen, but it is really high damage and has an okay capacity, slightly above average. Has decent armor as well, which is really good for bot extermination missions. Because you get blown up a lot there. Comes with a really good submachine gun. The Incendiary Impact, which is much better for the than the Incendiary Grenade, and can take out the Illuminate spawner ships. Great for crowd control as well, of course. Throw that on the ground, they're not coming near you. Purifier, which is a really high damage, explosive and medium armor penetrating plasma weapon. Really good against the bots. And the Verdict, which is basically a Desert Eagle pistol, which can take out medium armor. Now, and it comes with 2 different types of armor, which makes it really good value, I think. So you get explosive resistance, and you get a scout armor as well, and 2 really good. You get the air guitar there. So, so for me, this one's S tier as well. I wouldn't say it's better than Democratic Destination, but it still has some of the best weapons in the game, in my opinion. So I'm sticking it as S. It's my favorite. But I would be really interested to hear what you guys think. Viper Commando, excellent theming. Could use more weapons. That's probably my summary here. So I'll run through it. You get one of the coolest helmets, one of the coolest skins, with one of the best passives in the game. So it reduces the, increases the ergo of the weapons. So like the heavy machine gun, the eruptor become extremely usable. The eruptor gets turned into an explosive carbine. It's fantastic. And you get the liberated carbine, which isn't the best assault rifle in the game, but for me it's one of the more fun ones because it has increased ergo, especially with the skin. Higher fire rate, it's got good damage, really good capacity, great weapon. What lets the rest of it down is it focuses on skins instead of functional items. The bush rocket is a little bit disappointing. It's really high damage, but only 3 shots, and no armor pen. And the throwing knives, which are really cool, great for the memes, great for roleplay. And then test conviction, which is basically rock, paper, scissors. So a really cool update, not 100% essential, but adds a lot to the game, in my opinion. So I'm sticking there as A. Freaking Flame, this was a controversial one because it came with an update of the fire mechanics, which upset a lot of people. But I do dig the neon orange, and the cookout I think might be controversial, but I think it's better than the breaker incendiary, as it does more damage, fires at a wider range, and it has pushback, so it's really good against stalkers. So whenever I'm doing a bug mission, I'll often bring this one out. But other than that, I don't really enjoy using flame weapons, so this one's very player dependent, but it has cool skins, and firebomb hell bombs as well. It's basically, it turns everything that you drop explosive, so if you're in a squad and you just dropped in mid-round, let them know that you're bringing that one, so otherwise they're going to get a bit upset when everything starts exploding on them, and they weren't forewarned. But for me, because there's only one item that I really get much use out of, I'm going to put that as C. Where are we? Chemical agents. This for me is so this one is more of a support warbond, and I play mostly solo. So for me personally, I don't get a lot of use out of this stuff. I like this helmet, and I like this player card, but other than that, you know, considering that these are premium and you have to pay for them if you don't have the super credits, I didn't find it that good value personally. So it's better drones. The way gas works is it confuses enemies, so if you're in a squad, it can be handy. Is it can stop them from attacking your teammates, but other than that, yeah. So I think this one's going to be the first D, might be the only D. These have generally been of high quality, but that one was a bit disappointing. So Truth Enforcers, this one has, in my opinion, the coolest skins for your vehicles at least. So you get that cool black. The weapons are solid as well. They're not the best in the game, but they're not terrible either. So I've been using the Holt today. It's very good. Basically, you get 2 types of rounds that you can switch between, which was a new feature added. So you get armor pen flechettes, or you get stun rounds. So yeah, it's very good. High damage armor pen, 16 rounds, reloads one at a time, typical shotgun. Dead sprint lets you carry on sprinting even when you're out of stamina, though it does harm the player. Reprimand, which is again another one of the best. It's a submachine gun, but it's basically an adjudicator, similar, but does more rounds do more damage, but it has lower capacity magazines. But it's very good. It shreds through the bots. Armor, interesting passive, prevents flinching, which is handy if you enjoy like the Las 99, where you have to stay static while you're charging before you can fire, which is handy when you're getting shot at. Loyalist is a pistol, which is like a mixture between the Scorcher and the Purifier. So you fire plasma shots, or you can charge it for an explosive plasma shot. So one of the best pistols in the game. And yeah, and the skins look great. So I'm going to stick this as an A tier. Because they aren't the best weapons in the game, but it does add a lot to it, in my opinion, especially for roleplay, which is important, I would say. So Urban Legends, we're almost there. Street Scout, you get a good passive, increases the ammo capacity and decreases the reload time. You get a directional shield, which is handy because you and a teammate can stand behind it and fire through it. Armored supply pods, which are pretty essential, probably the best booster in the game, especially when solo, because it's basically a sentry, a free sentry. That's a heavy armor. I don't really use heavy armors, too slow and the stamina isn't great, but in a squad it has its use. as a tank. You get a cool pattern for the vehicle, or I do wish this was default. You get the anti-tank emplacement, which is really good too. One downside I would say is that it's one of the grindier ones. If you've been, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but I've maxed out all these, so you get an idea of how many medals it takes to unlock. And out of the premium ones, this is the grindiest one, even though it still has the same amount of things to unlock. So for me, it's one of the better ones, but I would stick it towards the end of A there. And last but not least, Servant's Freedom, which is the latest Warbond. And this is a return to form, in my opinion. It's a fantastic update. You get the art team have done a fantastic job, in my opinion. So you get the coolest helmets in the game. Really interesting passive on the armor, which looks great too. So basically, the armor explodes after you die. So if you're in a squad, a little bit risky. If you're soloing, you get that satisfaction of taking out a few enemies after they take you out. You get the double-edged sickle, which pairs really well with the flame-resistant armor. The way this works is the longer you hold down the trigger, the more damage it does. At the flip side being that it damages the player at some point as it heats up. So when paired with the fire-resistant armor, you get to hold down the trigger for longer and do some real damage. Right, so we got the ultimatum, which is like it's an amazing weapon. It's like a pocket precision strike. So it can take out the jammers and the Eyes of Sauron, as well as chargers and titans if you can fire them right. It's so much fun to use, but the range is a little bit. It fires about the same as throwing, maybe less. So it takes a bit of practice to use them. You get the drone grenades, which are fantastic. They stack, so you can get a little swarm, drone swarm going. Drone swarm. And you get the portable hell bomb, which is fantastic. If you are tired of dropping a hell bomb and having enemies blast it before you get a chance to arm it, no more is that a problem. Load this arm it with the 5 button, and that thing is going off whether it's still on your back or not. So a really good update. I've been enjoying it a lot. I've only got a couple more things to unlock. So I would put that on S. It's a really good update, and that's my tier list. What do you guys think? You agree, disagree? It'd be really cool to hear your thoughts. That's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you for the next one. Good night.